Hey guys, sorry a little late to this, but we have the full kits available here for Vegeta and MAJIN KUU'S. So we already did a full look at this guy's entire kit yesterday when they posted the details on their website. So just my initial look at this character before even using him, the way I think they want you to use this character is he's going to be like a really strong unit that just like you just press cards with this character. That's essentially what this guy's role is. I think essentially what this guy's role is going to be on a team, when you consider the entire team composition that you have, this guy's gonna be like a really good second best character on your team. I don't think he's gonna be like the best character on your team. I think he's gonna be a secondary character on your team, but he's gonna be a really good secondary character. What I mean by that is this is not gonna be a character where you're like fighting to gain priority with him. You're going to be already having priority most of the time, I think, when you're switching into this character. And the reason why I think that's going to be the case is, number one, he has very short cover null. He only has cover null for 5 counts when he enters the battlefield and uses a card, and then he gets cover null again when you use a green card. So those are the only ways he can get cover null. But things like this, this are really strong. When he has 1 or fewer cards and he uses a card. Well, actually, that's impossible. You can't have one or fewer cards after using a card, I guess. He has like the Vegeta Blue effect where he's drawing 2 more cards and getting key back, but he's also getting damage and type neutral. But it's very short, right? 3 counts of type neutral, 5 counts of cover null. He's got a very short amount of time where he's immune to key reduction, stuff like that. So I think what you want to do with this character is you literally just spam cards. He's got very high damage, so that's what I'm envisioning for the character. A little bit concerned, possibly, with his defense, but we'll see how well that does here. I'm interested in seeing how well this guy is going to look. I think this guy could be very good. He gets Vanish back, I think, what do they say, 5 times with his green. The support is going to be crazy. I'm a little concerned about his defense, but we'll see. All right, so he's a support type character. Looks like pretty balanced stats, which I like, because right now Daima is more of a strike team, but I mean, eventually we're probably going to get blast Daima characters eventually, right? So this is good. You can be ran on either a strike or a blast based team. He's only on Daima as his tag, which is the biggest issue with the character. Even before he drops, he's only going to be on 1 tag. That's not exactly ideal. And then something else I guess I'll mention before we jump into looking at his kit here is this guy is kind of similar to like Blue 17 when he first dropped. And the reason why Blue 17, even though he only really had like 1 or 2 viable, like even when he dropped like Universe, he was the character that essentially introduced the Universe Rep tag. So Universe Rep really wasn't a team when Blue 17 dropped. So his only team was androids. But the thing that made Blue 17 so valuable, even though he only really had 1 team, was the fact that you could just put him in the leader slot and he could be a really effective tool on like any team as a flex option in the leader slot. This guy, I'm not so sure, because he gets additional buffs for being ran with Daima. So he could be an effective leader slot character, but you're going to also have to make sure that you're running at least 1 other Daima character with him for him to get his full effects, I believe. So that's going to be something I'm looking at, because if he can't be a leader slot character, then he's kind of really restricted to Daima. So he's holding, what is this, a poison card? 100% chance to activate, okay. And then a blast card with 10% damage. Okay, sure. Yeah, this is crazy. 30% chance to inflict paralyze on hit. 30% on a strike card. Now, I am very happy this doesn't have blast armor, but this is still crazy. 30% chance to inflict like the most annoying effect in the game. That's, yeah, sure. 70% chance to inflict bleed on blast. And then, so remember, he holds a poison card. He holds a poison card. He can paralyze on strike and poison on blast. Blue card is the active rain, massive explode damage. Explode damage? Explode damage. Huh? Explode. Huh. Reduces impact, slice, and pierce damage received. You don't say. Okay. Yeah, explode damage is pretty rare, actually. Restores key by 30%, 30% of special move damage inflicted for 3 counts, draws a special arts card next on hit, activates 3 times. Okay, that's good. We know how good his green card is, because we already know that it restores his vanishing gauge. Wild Move. Oh my god, this is long. Randomly draws 1 new card, restores own health by 10% and key by 50, own vanishing gauge restored by 100% for 5 times. Applies attribute upgrade, shortens substitution count by 3 to self for 20 counts. Okay. Following effects occur if enemy health is 50% or above. Card draw speed, reduces enemy key by 40, inflicts all enemies with 2 subcounts. Yes, he's essentially got a mini lock-in with that, which is pretty good. This is a very good green. This green card is the type of mechanic that allows characters like this to age well. Right? If he's able to just sit in and just constantly restore his vanishing gauge, that's going to be a very good sign for this character moving forward. But we'll see. The ultimate is Wild Rush, deals massive impact damage, applies falling effects, self on activation, restores health by 10% and ki by 30. Really, he's healing himself and getting ki on his ultimate. 50% to ultimate damage inflicted, 30% to critical rate, shortens allies sub count by 5 on hit in the blast armor. Okay, critical rate is interesting, and then I think he has other effects that actually augment the effects on this ultimate later on. Main ability is destroys 2 of your own cards. And yeah, he draws a green card from this as well. Draws a green and the ultimate Wild Rush. So both Vegeta and KUU are doing this, where they're not even just drawing their ultimate, they're also drawing a green in addition to their ultimates. This could be interesting because remember, the green is locking in the opponent. Restores own health by 30% and ki by 50. Cancels allies' attribute upgrades in abnormal conditions. Attribute downgrades. Cancels their attribute upgrades. Cancels allies' attribute downgrades in normal conditions. Reduces enemies' Dragon Balls by 2. Okay, that might not sound like really crazy, but that is very strong. Reduces enemies' Dragon Balls by 2 on main ability. That's like OG Yellow Demon King Piccolo. Obviously, he's not gaining the Dragon Balls from that, but that is a very powerful mechanic. Like, you wait for the opponent to have a rush ready, and then you pop this main ability, and it just takes so long to get cards with Dragon Balls on them from that point. I don't know why it works like that, but that's how it works. Then he seals strike cards. Okay. Seems like a decent main. I like how he's drawing a green card here. The Z ability, let me just check. 35% to Daima, yellow, or blue strike and blast double defense. Okay, and then 80% to Daima strike defense. Falling effects occur when battle starts. 190% damage. Huh. That's, okay. I mean, that... Is there a reason why they're doing this? Because, like, first we have Vegeta, who's got 250. Just 250 here. And then... Like, who is the most recent 1% sparking? It's Trunks, Super Trunks, right? Super Trunks is the most recent 1% sparking. Now, Super Trunks is not a... He's not a damage dealer. Where is he? I skipped him. He's not a damage dealer, but, like, what is his damage? 120. Majin KUU has 190. And then the most recent LF character is the Purple Goku. Where's Purple Goku? Right here. Purple Goku has 180. Vegeta has 250. So they've kind of shifted to giving these characters much more of their damage inflicted buffs at the beginning of the fight. Typically what would happen is, KUU would be getting like 100 and, whatever it is, 120% damage here, but then he'd be getting like, 50% damage if he switches into the battlefield or whatever. But now they're just combining it all into one number, so it's interesting. 190, that's a lot. Reduces damage received by 70%. Reduces impact damage received by 50%. Okay, so it's only impact damage, but that's still good because impact damage is still like 90%. Maybe not 90. Like 85, 80% at least of the total damage that exists in this game. So that's pretty good. 60% to Q recovery. Card draw speed like 1 level. Okay, minus 6 to own arts cost. That's specific. Why is it? Okay, 6. Sure. 30. I guess this has to do with like demon. I don't know. 30% to damage inflicted by allies, 20% to damage inflicted by allied tag Daima. So, I mean, he's going to benefit from his own support. So he's technically getting 240% damage from this, right? Just this one like base set of damage. He's at 240 already. The following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. There's another tag Daima character in the party. 50% damage. Okay, so he's at 290. He's at 290% damage already. 20% chance to inflict feint upon landing a special move arts hit. Yeah. 30% chance to inflict feint upon landing an ultimate arts hit. Yep. And then destroys one enemy card, reduces enemy key by 30. Okay. Applies the following effect self every time when faced with an enemy. It draws a card. 30 key. Type neutral defensively for 5 counts. Applies the following effects to enemy when changing cover. Activates twice. Destroys 2 cards, reduces ki by 50. Wow, really? Because he already has this. So he's destroying 3 cards and reducing ki by 80? Is that actually what he's doing? 3 cards, reducing ki by 80. That's Super Trunks, basically. I mean, it's not as good as Super Trunks because Super Trunks is sealing main, sealing rush, cost increase as well. It's like not as crazy as Super Trunks, but that's still really, really good. As a disrupt, 3 cards and then minus 80 ki. Yeah, that's pretty damn good. Cover change against blast arts. Okay, so that's good. They're giving more blast cover changes. Now, Vegeta also has a blast cover change, so, you know, once you start putting like 3 characters that have the same type of cover change on a team, it becomes redundant. But I think blast is still probably the way to go because there are still way more strike cover changes in the game. Following effects occur when this character is switched to standby. It randomly draws 1 new card, move 3 or fewer cards. Yeah, this is also crazy. Restores ally health by 15% every time. Every single time he switches out, he's healing 15% of the whole team. 30 ki, cancels allies' attribute downgrades under normal conditions. So if you've comboed Beast Gohan with Majin Ku for like 4 cards, and you just simply switch out to your other characters, they're all going to be completely clear of any debuffs. Like the arts cost stacking debuffs are not going to exist when you switch out because they're all just going to be wiped. Following effects occur when this character uses an arts card when the enemy is inflicted with an abnormal condition. 50% damage inflicted, so that's going to jump him up to 340% damage. Gets cover null for 3 counts, seal enemies special and special move arts. The sealed arts cannot be used for 3 timer counts. I think this is probably going to be a pretty underrated ability that he's got. I mean, it's kind of hard to really judge this because, I mean, again, the last character to really have an effect like this is Yellow Demon King Piccolo, like the super old one. It looks like they really modeled a lot of this character's abilities off of that Yellow Demon King Piccolo. That Demon King Piccolo would stack damage when he attacked an enemy who I think it was actually specifically poisoned. When he attacks an enemy inflicted with poison, I think is what it was. And it was actually surprisingly consistent. You wouldn't think it would be consistent, but it actually really was consistent. But we have a lot of characters inflicting bleed. We have a lot of characters inflicting some kind of status condition. So abnormal conditions, we have bleed, heavy bleed, extreme bleed. Flash, I guess, counts as a normal condition. Paralysis, faint, poison. Those are all the abnormal conditions that exist, but bleed is very common. So, I don't know. Obviously, 2 counts is not very long for the damage buff, but I think it's, you know, he's got a lot of damage already. Following effects occur every time when hit with an enemy's arts attack while this character is in the battlefield. 50% to own health restoration for 5 counts. Okay. Shortens ally subcount by 2. That's really good. Activation count resets. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade. -1 arts card draw speed for 3 counts. That's the Blue Kid Buu ability. Okay, that's a very strong ability, actually. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade +5 to all arts costs for 5 counts. Okay, so he's got arts cost stacking. Not as huge as Beast Gohan's arts cost stacking, but it's still pretty good. Seals all enemies' main abilities for 5 timer counts. Interesting. So he takes a hit for the first time when he switched in, and he seals the enemy's main ability. Additional 20% chance to inflict enemy with paralyzed if their health is 50% or above. So this actually is 50%. Oh. Okay. I don't think people are going to like fighting this character. Now, this is definitely going to be a character I'm going to want to test out first before I make any conclusions here. I think my worry about his defensive abilities is probably warranted, right? I mean, this is not a character that's going to be sitting there and eating hits and, like, you know, tanking things. But he's got really strong disrupt, at least for the first 2 cover changes. And it's not like he's going to be easy to catch if you have a green card that's going to be able to restore your vanish 5 times. I don't know. He seems pretty interesting. I actually think this is a well-designed support character. We'll see. We'll see. I imagine that's probably all we have, and the reason why is because this, for whatever reason, is just dropped on a Friday. I think it's just this is going to be a chain reaction because of how they handle the Cell release. Still, We are flabbergasted, no explanation. Why the hell did Cell drop first week of March? Nobody will ever know. Nobody will ever truly know why. But it throws off the entire schedule the rest of the month, basically. I mean, who knows? Maybe it can continue into April. I don't know. But that one Cell release decision, like, sort of just screwed everything up. So, this dropping on a Friday means we are not really getting what we typically would get from a normal weekly update. So I imagine a lot of the things that we are expecting to get in terms of like new equipment and whatever should probably come out next Wednesday, normal reset time. So I don't expect there's anything in here, but let me just check. Right, because PvP resets next week. Co-op, I think, actually doesn't reset until the 26th. But this Daima celebration goes for the rest of this month, and then it actually goes like halfway through April. So I think the next co-op season will also be Daima related. Let me just quickly scan through here. I don't think there should be anything new. Maybe an Awakened equipment, because I think they actually released Ultra Space Time Rush Lite, but I don't think that actually would mean anything anyway. Yeah, no, they did not. Okay, well, that's fine. Yeah, so it doesn't look like there's anything new here. There is Ultra Space Time Rush Lite out, but they literally just dropped this like 2 days ago, which is a pretty solid equip for Cell. I went over this in my breakdown video when Cell dropped, because they put this in the data early. But yeah, I think next week we might even just get that Goku's Zenkai. The green Daima Goku Zenkai might drop on the 19th, actually, which is only a few days away. So yeah. There we go. That was Majin KUU and just some general thoughts that I had about Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta as well. Let me know down below what you guys think. I'll be jumping into I got to just take care of something right quick after this. Then I'll jump into summons. Then we'll do showcases, and we're going to be pumping out stuff very, very rapidly here. So let me know what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.